Hi guys and welcome to Fandom Newbie. My name is Shruti and today I'm going to be talking about 5 TV shows that you should watch if you love fiction books. Now, from like a book nerd point of view, the reason why I feel like book lovers will love these TV shows is because they have amazing character development and they have amazing world building. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get started. Number 1 is The Expanse. Now, this is a TV series that is actually based on a book series of the same name called The Expanse. But what this show is about is basically it's set in a futuristic time where humans have colonized the entire solar system. So basically we have, like the typical human settlements on Earth. There's also a human settlement on Mars. And apart from that, there is also like a colony of settlers who live within the asteroid belt. Now, among these 3 settlements, basically there are a lot of conspiracies brewing, and there also seems to be a lot of politics brewing among the leaders. The other thing about this show is that it is a sci-fi show, but like all the scientific principles that they speak about and that they've mentioned in this show is actually very, very accurate. It gives the feeling that this could happen. Like, this is not totally out of this world kind of a scenario. Like, these things actually could happen because the principles that are mentioned in this show are rooted in fact. So that also makes it very, very interesting, especially if you're a huge like geek or like sci-fi geek or like science nerd. I feel like you will really, really enjoy this show. Number 2 is Kingdom. Now, this is a Korean drama, and the best way to describe this show is basically like it's like if Game of Thrones and The Walking Dead had a baby, then this would be the show. Basically, it's set in like an ancient Korean world where there are like kings and kingdoms, and like people are warring and fighting to gain power over the entire like kingdom. And in the midst of all this like political drama where people are like trying to overthrow the emperor and become king and like all of that, amidst all of those conspiracies is a zombie apocalypse, which makes this show so much more interesting than like normal, like kingdom and kings political drama. The thing that I absolutely loved about this show was the set design and also all the costumes of the ancient Korean time period. It really felt like I wasn't watching a show, but I was watching a movie. Like, the production design was absolutely amazing in this show. And even though it is in Korean and you have to read like the subtitles to be able to understand it, I feel like it doesn't take away from the experience, and you just get some really top-notch quality TV. So I highly, highly recommend watching Kingdom if you're into like the fantasy elements of Game of Thrones but also really love zombies. Number 3 is Broadchurch. Now, Broadchurch is a typical like detective, police, crime kind of a show, and it is set in Scotland. So Broadchurch is like a small fictional town in Scotland, and it's that typical like small town where nothing exciting or nothing scandalous ever happens until one day a young boy is found dead. This like incident basically kicks off a huge police investigation, and through this police investigation and through all the things that happen with this police investigation, it unearths some of like the more scandalous things that are happening in the lives of the main characters that are there in the story. What I absolutely loved about this show is that yes, the entire crime and the mystery angle of this show is exciting, and that's what kind of hooks you and that's what kind of makes you binge watch this show. But the show also really dives deep into the lives of the people that are affected because of this incident and because of this mystery. And it really goes deep into like the relationship dynamics between these main characters. It really goes into like, how these characters are feeling, their emotions, their thoughts, and the character development in this show is just so beautiful, and the acting is phenomenal. Like, Olivia Colman and David Tennant have done such an amazing job, but apart from them, even the other actors in this show are just absolutely phenomenal. So definitely check this out if you're into like, mystery and like crime kind of shows, but also if you really like shows that dive deep into the characters and like their thoughts and emotions and feelings and things like that. Number 4 is The Boys. Now, this show was just super entertaining. Now, what this show is about is basically it's set in a world where superheroes, like actual superheroes, like Superman, those kind of superheroes, are kind of like celebrities. So these superheroes are actually backed by a huge multi-billion-dollar corporation, and this corporation basically sells these superheroes to do like brand deals. They do TV shows, and basically like the entire world is ruled by these superheroes and this multi-billion-dollar corporation. The twist in this story is that even though these superheroes are like celebrities, they are absolute assholes. Like, the superheroes are just bad in the sense like they actually do like save the world from villains and things like that, but they are just really mean people. Like, the superheroes basically they do illegal stuff. They kill sometimes innocent people to make themselves look good. They also, like, a lot of them have like sexual assault cases against them because they are just horrible people. And that's what made this show so interesting, because like you have these superheroes who are supposed to ideally be good, like, you know, they're supposed to like protect the people, they're supposed to be good human beings, but these superheroes are just absolutely horrible. And it just made for such an entertaining and such a weird twisted story that was so fun to watch. However, there is a lot of adult content in this show, and it's not really meant for kids or children, I think, to watch, because it is very adult. But if you are, like, you know, of a mature age, and you know, if you're okay with watching something like this, because it's quite graphic and it's quite gruesome at times as well, if you're okay with watching this, then I highly recommend this show because it was absolutely entertaining. And the last one, which is number 5, is The Mandalorian. Now, this one is available on Disney Plus, and it is basically set in the Star Wars universe. Now, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I've literally only watched the original trilogy, so episode 4, 5, 6, and I've watched episode 7. I haven't watched episode 8 or 9. Like, I haven't watched that much of Star Wars, but I still really enjoyed this series. And the reason for this is that basically the way this series is structured is that it is like episodic. So every episode is like a new story or like a new adventure which the main character goes on. So that's why, like, you know, you don't really need to know a lot about Star Wars to enjoy this. What I loved about this TV show was just like all the adventures that the main characters go on. They're just so entertaining and so enjoyable to watch. And I feel like this show does a good job to kind of like expand the Star Wars universe and make it a little bit more interesting. And it introduced the most adorable character in the world. I mean, come on, how could you not find Baby Yoda absolutely adorable? Like, seriously. Watching this show actually got me very much interested in finding out more about the Star Wars universe, and I think I'm gonna watch the prequel trilogy and maybe Star Wars The Clone Wars, like the animated TV show. Like, I'm very interested in Star Wars now because of this show, because I feel like it does a very good job in, you know, talking about that world and that universe, and it really hooks you into that. So again, if you're into sci-fi, if you're into Star Wars, and if you haven't watched this yet, then definitely check it out because it was very good. So yeah, that was my video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below letting me know some of your favorite TV shows, and leave your recommendations down in the comment section below. And of course, do subscribe to my channel for more book related videos. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.